Hi everyone, it's Wendy again. I've been meaning to do another video and time has just gotten away from me, and I was watching a video from someone who just started doing Instacart for as a full service shopper, and I realized, I need to start doing more consistent videos. So I'm going to try. I'm not going to guarantee one a week or one a day or anything. But I will try and be a little more consistent on doing some videos on some helpful tips. As being an in-store Instacart shopper. Now remember, the difference between a full service shopper and an Instacart or in-store shopper is the full service shopper, not only do they shop for the batch, but they also deliver it. And they're considered independent contractors, so they're responsible for their own taxes, everything. They have to drive there, so there's wear and tear on their cars. They're paid a specific amount for each batch, plus they get tips. Now, an in-store shopper is actually assigned to a store. You have your own, what you call your home store, which is where you primarily work out of, though you are able to work at other stores as hours, because other stores have openings. So if you want to take and go to other stores and there's an opening, go right ahead and do it. It's kind of nice because you get to know the other stores as well. But you do have your home store, and that's where a majority of your hours are set up at. Some things I'm going to address in this video is working as an in-store shopper, because as you know, when you're working as an in-store shopper, you are an hourly employee. So you are paid whether you are shopping a batch or not. And just to give you some tips to kind of help you navigate, because you're not in and out of the store like the full service. You're actually in that store with all those people coming in, and it's changing and everything. Probably the only thing constant during your whole shift may probably be the store employees themselves. In many of the stores where in the area I work at, they had a little area with tables and chairs set up that you could sit at and eat and things, and that was usually a good place to sit when you weren't working a batch or when you were taking a break. Well, they've kind of been cordoned off in that, but for some reason they leave a little hidey hole, and that's usually where I go and sit, where I'm kind of out of sight. I'm not disturbing anyone because I'm the only one there, so I'm maintaining the social distance and that. Sometimes you have to do that. You have to find a place. I know in some of the stores I've gone to, they've had a bank branch there that's been closed. And, that's probably a good place, because they usually have a chair that you can take the chair over into a corner, within the area. Don't take it across the store or anything, but move it, so that you're because they usually place up some displays there behind the display, so you're out of sight. I know you are not supposed to leave the store between your batches. They don't want you in your car sitting in the parking lot. They want you physically in the store for your entire shift. When you get your lunch break, which depending upon the state you're in, the state I'm in, which is Kansas, if you work more than 5 hours, they are required. If you work 5 hours or more, they are required to give you a half-hour lunch break. You also can get a 10-minute paid break. Your lunch break is usually not paid. So if you're scheduled for 5 hours, you're only paid for 4.5. But the thing is, you are paid for the entire time you're there. It's not like the full service shoppers where their pay depends upon how many batches they can get, how quickly they can get them delivered, and how much is tipped. And I'm going to address the issue of tipping. In many of the stores I work in, we as Instacart shoppers, we shop the order, we stage them, and then we go on our merry way to do another order, whatever. Oftentimes it is the store personnel that brings them out to the vehicle, or if the person happens to come into the store for whatever reason, they're the ones that deal with them. Clarify this, the tipping part with your leads and with your higher ups. But I know in my state, we are not allowed to accept tips. There's a whole state policy regarding that. And I will tell you, they will try to tip you. And I just reiterate, thank you very much. I cannot accept it. It's against company policy. I'm going to tell you something. They're probably going to throw it in your cart and run. So I don't know what you can do. You know, it's going to happen. Take it for what it is. But, you know, you are not out there to collect tips. That is not part of your pay. You know, like I said, each state is different regarding tips. Take and clarify it with your lead. Okay. Now, some things to have on hand to kind of help you through this. Okay. I know in my previous video I addressed some of these things. Of course, you need it's really nice to have the lanyard, the Instacart card. I use these things here. My fingers are orange. I have no clue why. I use this to hold my payment card, so it's always around my neck and I don't lose it. Okay. So that's what it looks like. You see it, mine's getting a little rough there. But I keep that. And like I mentioned, I have a bag. I switched it up. I now have this nice purple one. It's a little heavier set. I've worked at some stores where there aren't hooks on the carts. They're metal carts. So my husband bought me these heavy-duty carabiners. And all I do is I roll them down and I latch it around the, latch it around the cart. Because I usually keep the same cart the whole shift, I'll reel it up, and that way my bag won't fall down, and it's harder for him to grab it if somebody wants to run away with it. And this has a 200-pound weight limit. They're not for climbing, but they're nice to have. Even in the carts with the hooks, it's kind of nice to have these to hook it on. I have sanitizer. I actually have 2 sanitizers on my bag. This is one of them. And I just fill it up as need be. I think my other ones will fit in there. I have a larger one here. So I have one on each side. And I like to leave them hanging down like this, because that way the hand sanitizer is right there, so that when I open it, it comes right out. I don't have to shake it down. So, okay. I don't know why my fingers are orange. Another thing I've put on recently is a Velcro strap. You'll see why in a little bit. Okay, some things I carry in my arsenal, as I put it. I do carry snacks with me. I need to have things with me. You know, you get hungry when you're running around. I have a pedal meter somewhere, and I know in one 4.5-hour shift, I think I did like 7,000 steps. So particularly now, you're really running around in that. So I have a little plastic case, and I have just snacks in here to eat in that. You know, I have peanut butter in there. I have Fig Newtons bars. I have Power Bars. I have Nutter Butters. I have chocolate. I have peanut butter and cheese crackers. I have the Cheez-Its in there. You go, well, you got peanut butter. Well, yes, you can eat peanut butter by itself, or do what I do. Get another and put it in. For one thing, you don't end up with crumbled crackers. Let's see. I know I've got a few other things in here. I carry around a fruit cup. Chocolate covered craisins. These are good to have too. And they're fairly cheap too. So, though, when I'm in a store, a lot of times I'll go grab something quick. If I am going to be there over lunchtime, if I'm going to be there, Monday through Friday our shifts are 1 to 6. I usually grab something out of my snack thing. The other thing I bring with is a water bottle. And I meant to grab one. Anyways, Tetley, I believe it is. You know what? Let me go get one. I'm going to pause it and restart the video. Just a moment. I'll show you what I'm... Okay, I'm back. So there's going to be a little break in the video there. I was talking about with my water bottle. You know, plain water gets boring. And yes, you can buy all this stuff in the store because you're right there. But something I found is Twinings. It's not Tetley, it's Twinings. It's called Cold Infused Flavored Cold Water Enhancer. And they've got like 4 or 5 different flavors. This one is passion fruit, mango, and blood orange. They've got a pink lemonade. There's one with apple in it, I believe. It's sugar-free, all natural flavors. All you do, what I do, is I put ice in here, probably to about right there, and then I fill up the rest with water and I drop one of these in. And you just drop it in, wait about 5 minutes shaking, and it's good for 8 hours. Pretty good, huh? There's 12 servings in a container, so this lasts me about 3 weeks. 3 to 4 weeks, depending upon how many days a week I work. There's only 1 or 2 grams of carbohydrates. The rest of it is 0. It's just flavoring. This one, it actually says what it has. It has white hibiscus, natural blood orange, mango, and passion fruit flavors with other natural flavors, rose hips, apple pieces, red hibiscus, chicory root. I make coffee out of that. Orange peel, natural flavors. I find this in Walmart. You can also find it on Amazon. But this is what they look like. And, you know, they've got teas out there, hot teas that come in bags like this. But, I mean, it's good for 8 hours. So, you know, you fill it up when you leave for a shift. And if you're an 8-hour shift and you go through 2 or 3 of these, just leave it in there until you're done for the day. And then you take and throw it away. All right. So there's that. My bit bag, I actually have a lot of people when I'm shopping comment on it. These are, I really want to know why my fingers and nails are orange. I was messing with something orange, I guess. These are $18 on Amazon. They do have cheaper ones. I kept losing mine. I don't know why. And I'm kind of rough on it, as you can see. I'm glad I got it out because I need to glue it. But these are great for your cart because you can put it on the cart and your phone sits in there. And as you can see, it expands out quite a bit. So your phone can sit there and you're not having to hold your phone. And if you angle it right, you can actually take and scan everything. Don't have to move your phone at all. Though sometimes when I'm doing waters or sodas, multiples of sodas and that, I'll take it off and, you know, scan it and everything. All right, so there's that. My bag goal. I like to put everything back in my bag. This is a lifesaver, especially now, because, as you know, a lot of shelves are down to one or two things, and guess where they're at? Way in the back. And I know one shift, I practically stood on my head because I forgot this at home to get stuff. I've grabbed boxes to kind of move what I want closer to me. I've asked people to get it, but invest in one of these. Walmart carries this. It's in the farm, by the Walkers and by the pharmacy. Okay, it's called the Gopher. I always keep a supply of Kleenex. I think I have about 6 packages in my bag. I also keep a little Band-Aid, a little Band-Aid thing here. And in here, you know, I have the Band-Aids and everything, but I also keep some of these lens cleaner wipes. You can get them at Walmart for $5. There's like 100 of them. Whatever you want to use, but I keep those in there. Now, I don't know why, but, you know, every time I go into a store, my nose runs. There's something in the air in a store. It's really bad in grocery stores. Not so bad in other stores, but my nose starts to run. I think it's just something in the air that's circulating and that my nose runs. I've talked to my doctor and she said, take a Benadryl or Allegra or some antihistamine allergy type pill. So I have one of those in there. I find if I take it before my shift starts, I'm pretty good. I do keep a notepad of some sort in my bag. I have found it helpful. Other thing I carry with are portable power banks. I have 6 of them. I actually have 7. I have some Bluetooth headphones in there. I have another cord for use with my tablet or my phone, because I also take cords for my tablet and my phone in there. Of course, you got to have your phone. I also take my tablet with so that I can be entertained while I'm not doing anything. And also, it leaves my phone free for strictly doing orders. All right, now getting to the nitty-gritty of stuff. With the stuff that is going on in the stores, you can wear masks, you can wear gloves. You can make these. This is one I've made. It doesn't have the nose piece in it. I actually have 2 of them here. That's where the other one went. I also have, I call these ear savers, and I've crocheted these. You can find a pattern online if you like. There are also patterns and tutorials on how to do the face mask. As you see, these are my personal ones, so they're kept in a bag once they're clean. The other thing I've been doing is, I have a dozen of these ready for buttons, is making these and handing them out to the store personnel who wear masks. And they've been grateful. I've had a couple of them help me down. I'm sorry, but I lost my. I go, that's fine. Here, have another one. So I make crocheted ones, and I also have these plastic ones that I cut out with my Cricut. I'm a crafter. That's why I'm doing Instacart, so I can craft. You know, these are free patterns. So I've been given crocheted one and a plastic one. And the only thing that they asked is that we don't charge for them. And I don't. And that autofocus is driving me nuts. Just a moment. Okay. There we go. Sorry about that. I should have noticed it. So I've got some more to put in here, so I'm going to leave that out. And I just cut out a whole bunch. I'm sending to my sister, who's a nurse. I'm sending some to my best friend, along with some masks I'm making her and her family. I'm sending some to another sister who works in a law office. So, and it's not a bad idea to have a couple of masks with you, just in case. Because if someone sneezes or something and the one you're wearing gets wet, you want to change it out. So I got to fill that up. Now, if you notice this big thing of wipes, I don't take this with me. I take a little bunch of them in a Ziploc baggie. There's probably about 5 or 6 in there. Now, don't go out and clear shelves of wipes. These are these are baby wipes. Now, these are called cucumber and green tea. They're great for all, and they're great for hands and faces. This was the reason why I got them. I got them for me, and I also got them for my husband who has a medical condition so that he can use these. I found these at Walmart. You know, these are paraben-free, alcohol-free. That's why you can use them on your face and your hands. A lot of times when you get these wipes, they have alcohol in them, and it's not good to use on your face because it can cause you to break out or dry. So I keep a little packet of them in here, and because I keep them in a Ziploc baggie, they remain moist. When I get down to one, I'm going to put a few more in there. All right. Now, this Instacart has a thing whereby on their website they have things you can buy like t-shirts and lanyards and all this, but they also have this hand sanitizer that they will send you for free. You just have to go on, make sure that the email you use is the one that's linked with your Instacart account as a shopper. And I mean, this is a 6 fluid ounce bottle, and I haven't used it yet because I have my other one, but I have it in my bag. Also, my lead was very nice to get us all small bottles that they will refill as we need it. I left mine there that way in case I need it. It's there at the store. Speaking of sanitizing, now when you walk into the store, a lot of the stores have someone there spraying down the carts and wiping them down. So take your cart, make sure it's the only cart you take. I always get a big cart, and I'll tell you a couple stories of those later. The other thing is they have put cleaner or some sort of white or some sort of sanitizer and paper towels, at least in my leads have. And I think that it's getting around to other stores. So when you go in, take a couple minutes before your shift starts, wipe down the handles of the refrigerator and freezer units. I wipe down the scanning device and the label thing. I wipe down the handles of the cart. It's one of those tool carts, you know. I wipe down all the handles when I start. They also have it where if we're there longer than 4 hours, we wipe it down at a break. So I'm usually there scheduled 1 to 6. So as soon as my break ends or a couple minutes before it ends, I go over and wipe it down real quick. And they also want you to do it when your shift ends. Now, at a lot of the stores, at least in our area, they're working 2 people at the same time. So you'll have 2 people there from, say, 1 to 6, you'll also have the runner. Be nice to your runner and wipe everything down when your shift is done. Now, like on Saturday and Sunday here, well, at least on Saturday, I worked 9 to 3. Another person comes in from 11 to 5 because we have some in-store shopper from 9 to 5. So I get there and I work. So when I get there at 9, I sanitize. In the middle of our shifts, I usually sanitize because I'm the first one to go on lunch break. Then when the other person goes on lunch break, they can sanitize too. And then they also sanitize when they leave. So on a Saturday and Sunday, it may be getting sanitized 4 times a day. So, but it doesn't take long. It takes a minute or a couple minutes. Just spray the stuff on, wipe it with the paper towel, keep on going. Just don't spray your sanitizer. I repeat, do not spray your sanitizer on the scanning device or on the label maker. Please don't. Spray it into the paper towel and just wipe it down. Okay? Otherwise, you're going to ruin it. And you're really going to be in trouble. All right. Now, with everything that's going on, the app has been glitching more, and be patient. Just let your leads know on Slack. Say, hey, app is glitching. Not sure what's going on. Everything's good on my end. What I usually do if the app is glitching, I go to check reported issues. Yeah. That's because I'm no longer at work. And oftentimes everything here, it will tell you what's going on. So, okay, that's not there. Then I go into I'll go into settings, and I will check my internet connections to see, okay, oh, I'm connected. Okay, it's the app issue. Now, sometimes what helps is by turning off your Wi-Fi, putting it into airplane mode for 30 seconds or a minute. Try that. Restarting the app itself, restarting your phone, because that will also restart the app. Don't panic. It's gonna happen. So just, and they've got all these safety issues. They're telling you they got high chat and call volumes, which is very true. So if it's glitching, let your leads know. If it's a customer issue, then go to chat or texting. Take and read everything that they have sent you, because it is going to give you some good information. Some things that have come up is extended pay. They are offering up to 14 days of pay for any shopper who is diagnosed with COVID-19 or placed in mandatory isolation or quarantine as directed. They have a link to the shopper health and safety guides. They've also started doing sick pay for in-store shoppers. For every 30 hours you work, you get an hour of sick pay. And you can view it in Workday. It's backdated to December 30th. And unused sick pay will not be paid out when you leave Instacart. So it's either use it or lose it. The other thing that I have noticed, that's not what I want. And going into schedule, time off. It gives you information on time off. Time off is unapproved and unpaid and must be approved. If approved, you will not be scheduled during your requested time off. You can take up to 15 days per calendar year. Okay, that's good. And also you can see what your sick leave balance is, request time off. I actually have some time off I got to request later. Shows you how you can make money by referring a shopper, how I'm doing. Basically, as far as this goes, don't worry about it right now. They're not looking at anything below a 5. You can see your compliment, in that. Another thing is attendance points is something new. And I hate to say it, but if the app glitches at the beginning of your shift, you may lose a point. If it's glitching at the beginning of your shift, immediately let your lead know. Let them know it took an attendance point from you. They may be able to get it back for you. If not, at least you've got an explanation in there. You're saying, hey, I was here. I started shopping. The app glitched. It shows me not here. It timed me out. Whoa, what in the world? Okay. That was not supposed to happen. All right, anyways. It's just being on me right now. Sorry about that. Oh, I might have glitched it. I get talking and my hands started waving. There we go. Okay. They may be able to do something about it. Don't freak out, okay? When I got this unearned attendance point taken off, I was shopping a batch and it was for hand sanitizer. We had none at the store, and the app just glitched out in that. Speaking about things not being available, do your best to get them a suitable replacement. The customer always has the choice of not accepting it, and they will tell you. Hopefully not when you're way across the other end of the store or when you're checking out. If you're checking out, give it to the cashier, say, hey, I'm sorry. They decide they don't want this. The other thing is you may notice that when you go and scan an item, the app, okay, I got something's going wrong with this. I have no clue. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. Let's talk about the app. Oh yeah, when you scan something, it now looks different. You have to put in the number of items and then the weight if it's something that's weighed, and then you hit confirm. It's different than what it was before. Though if it's the only item, or if it's, if you have multiples of the item, that's when it does that. If you only have one of that item, it immediately does the same thing it's always done. When I take and I think I've shown my greetings, or my custom greeting. Okay. I give them my name. I will be your shopper today. I'm starting your order. If there are any updates or additions to your order, feel free to message me and I'll do my best to make it happen. If the store is out of an item you selected, I will find the best possible replacement and notify you for improvement. Thank you. The other thing I add in here that I need to add to this is, please note that due to high demand, some items may be out of stock or have limits placed on them. Thank you for your understanding. That way they understand that, hey, I'm not getting you Charmin. I'm getting you this other stuff because they don't have Charmin. And if you want toilet paper or paper towels, you're taking the generic. No, I don't say that to them. But, sometimes you think about it because they'll come back and say, they don't have any Charmin? They don't have kind of... No, I'm sorry, they are out. The only thing they have is this. Is this okay? That's all you can do. I had one lady question practically everything that I had to substitute because they're out of it. And she asked for a lot of things that they were out of. It's following my hand. That's what it is. So she was questioning, and I had to keep telling her, I am sorry. This is all they have available of that type of product. It could be salad dressing, it could be mayonnaise, it could be cheese. There's nothing I can do. Do you still want the replacement, or do you want me to refund? Now, according to Instacart, they want you to minimize refunding, and sometimes it is impossible not to refund things because there's just nothing that can take that place of that item. So you will have to refund it. I always put out of stock when it's an item that is out of stock and there is nothing. I do know that at one point in time they were out of butter. They were out of margarine. There was none. So all I could put was, they're out of stock. Sometimes they will order something. I had an order come in for 10, 12 packs of toilet paper. Stores are limiting the toilet paper. All I could get them was 3, and it was not the kind they wanted. It was a generic brand that they had. So, I had to reiterate the fact that there's a limit of 3 placed by the store. That is all I can do. I have to abide by the store policy on limitations. So he got the 3, and then maybe 20 minutes later, he ordered another 10. It's a new order, so he got another 3. He only ended up with 6 out of the 12 he wanted, or however many he wanted. And it was still the same brand. You have that. You may run into an instant, and I had this recently happen, where I was shopping. I was 2 items away from being done with her order, and she said, cancel. I'm going, okay. Did you want me to cancel the recent replacement? She goes, no, the whole order. I said, okay, just a moment, please. And I know they had said, especially when it was the short supply items like toilet paper, hand sanitizer, cleaning products, that we could just refund everything and I'll cancel the order. I wanted to verify it, so I got on Slack with my lead and said, hey, I was just 2 items away from this order being done. She wants to cancel it. How do I, what do I do? And, they came back, just refund everything. I said, okay. And, she got a little sharp about me canceling. I said, one moment, please. I am taking care of it. It takes a few minutes. It takes a couple minutes because I have to refund each item individually. So that's what I did. I refunded everything and the order canceled. Nothing I could do about it. I mean, it showed in the chat that she wanted it canceled and I verified it. The other thing is, what I noticed with the app, when you get the list, the grocery list, they have priority items. These are items that if you know they are in short supply and you know that there's maybe one or two left, go get them first. Be prepared to maybe sometimes do a replacement on those priority items. Basically, the priority items are the items the customer is really, really wanting. There's something else and I forgot. Oh, about the app and the list. I don't know about your stores, but in mine, all the produce is in one section. They do have refrigerated salad dressings in our produce section in there. They also carry specific bottled drinks. So I have to, flip up through the app to make sure I get everything before I leave, like the produce section. The next section that I lead right out into is the meat department, the deli, and the bakery. And you got to kind of scroll up and down to make sure that you're not missing it. Otherwise, you can come running back. Really get to know your store so you kind of know where things are. Also, in our store, in the meat section, they don't carry frozen meat by the frozen items. It's in the meat section. So you leaf through, and if you got frozen chicken tenders or frozen meatballs, you got to get them then. Otherwise, you're running all the way back. Also, they have like the frozen sausages, whatever brand they are. Also, the corn dogs, the frozen corn dogs, and all the frozen shrimp is in the meat department. So you got to get that before you go. Otherwise, you're running all the way back to the other end of the one. If you follow getting your frozen stuff last, you go and get all your frozen vegetables and fruits and ice cream. And it's on the other side of the store. Then you got to run all the way back to get the frozen chicken tenders. Just be aware of how your store is situated. Be polite to your customers. Be especially polite to the grocery store employees. I actually got a compliment today. I was told I was one of their favorite shoppers, along with another shopper who shops the same store. We were her favorites because we were always polite. We always said thank you. We helped bag. There's not much you can do right now. The best thing you can do is sometimes you have to grit and bite your tongue. Maybe have a conversation with yourself in your head about what you would actually say, but don't type it out. Don't say it out loud. Just say it's the stress of the situation, and that's what a lot of it is. We're in a unusual and unknown time for people right now, and people are stressing out because they got to stay home unless they're essential employees, which Instacart has been deemed as an essential employees. So that's why we're out and shopping. Take a deep breath. Take a step back. Go into the hidey hole, into your hidey hole that you found for a minute, and take a deep breath. Do whatever relaxes you. Put your earplugs or earphones in, headphones in, or whatever you're wearing, Bluetooth headphones, whatever you're wearing. Listen to whatever music makes you calm down. It doesn't help the situation at all to get snarky or snappy or even angry at the other customers in the store, the store employees themselves, the customer that's on this app who's just a nameless, sightless, you don't even see what they look like. So you're not face to face with them. You're just texting, and 99% of the people have a very hard time relaying feelings through the written word. And that's what texting is writing words. So, they may not mean for it to come out snarky or snappy or sharp. You just take and say, okay, they're having a bad day. Not sure why they want to cancel the order. Maybe they realized they didn't have enough money for it. Maybe they didn't like the fact that you're shopping for it at 1 p.m. and they're not picking it up until 7. So they don't understand that their ice cream is not going to be melted soup. Uh, you know, maybe they just didn't like the fact that you're replacing everything. That they wanted name products. They wanted the products they wanted, and they didn't want anything to be replaced. Well, there's nothing you can do if the store's out of it. The only thing that they can do is either go with what you can get them, ask for a refund, or if worse comes to worse, they can do their own shopping, and then they can see what it's like. So, like I said, don't take it to heart. As I tell my husband some days when he's having a bad day and he's having hassles, be a duck. Ducks, when it rains, it rolls right off of them because, just let it roll off your back. Of course, what people aren't seeing is you're paddling quite furiously and you're struggling to get everything done. Oh, that brings me up to time. Don't worry about your times. It's going to take longer with you having to do replacements, with some of the replacements that that you're scanning not coming in, so you have to manually put them in, and that adds time. No matter how fast you are, that's going to add time to your shopping. So you may have one where you find everything you get done in 10 minutes. You get it picked out, go through checkout and stage, and 10 minutes before the time said you had to. The next one, it takes you 20 extra minutes because you had to manually input a lot of the replacements because they're not in the Instacart app for you to scan. So, and after I finish my shop and I'm heading to checkout, I always add that little note, I'm heading to checkout. Thank you for shopping with me today. Notice I put me in there. Then once I have staged it, I usually take a picture of it and say there are, say, 8 bags in your order today. Frozen and refrigerated items will be kept in appropriate storage areas. If they have a hot item, like we do a lot of rotisserie chickens, I'll add and hot items. If they just have refrigerated items, I take out the frozen and the hot, just to let them know, hey, your stuff is still going to be cold, still going to be frozen, still going to be warm when you come and pick it up or have it delivered. And if it was an order where I had to do a lot of replacements, I may say, I am sorry that due to circumstances beyond my control, I had to make so many replacements. We're unable to get you the actual items you ordered. I only do that when there's been a lot. I had one order where I think half of her stuff I had to replace. And it was only like a 20 item order. And then I say, thank you for shopping with us today. Because that us refers to Instacart. The one I give before where I state I'm heading to checkout, thank you for shopping with me, is to let them know that, hey, I was your personal shopper today, and I want to thank you. This video is probably going to be close to an hour.
But I will put a link to my referral if you are interested in becoming an Instacart in-store shopper. No matter where you are at, they do have bonuses. We're getting the sick leave based on, every 30 hours you work, you get up to 14 or 15 days a year that you can actually take off unpaid, request time off. Um, you work anywhere from 0 to 29 hours in a week. You're paid hourly, depending upon where you work, that varies. You don't have extra wear and tear in your car running orders around like the full service. You actually kind of feel like you're part of well, at least in my story, I feel like I'm part of their store family because they greet me, they ask me how I'm doing, we chit chat, we talk about things. The managers come up and go, "Hey, how's it going?" Especially with everything that's going on, they go, um, "Are you finding everything okay?" I can say, "Well, it's kind of hard finding this, that, or the other thing, but I'm making it work." Um, they they make you feel part of the family, at least in the stores I work in. And I found the thing that helped that was just being nice to them, saying hi, saying thank you, helping them out. Um, and when I go in there when I'm not working, I still talk to them. I say, hi, how are you? The other day I was in there with my husband. I was talking to the cashier and I said, yeah, I'm not working today, but I brought Grumpy in with me. She goes, Grumpy? I said, yeah, my husband. She goes, oh. and, you know, and try and maintain the social distancing as much as you can. It's going to be hard sometimes because aisles are going to get crowded. Just be patient. Um, you might have to speak a little louder than you normally do. Saying, excuse me, can you let me through? Um, and I found a lot of times to get out of my way, I must have some look on my face that says, stay out of my way. I'm in a thing. And I know I get in a zone when I'm shopping because apparently there was a couple of incidences in my store where customers got into it about social distancing. I didn't hear a word. I was out there just shopping away. And I guess they got loud, but I didn't hear them. I just was in my own little world. So I'm going to let you go. Stay safe. Keep up with do what you have to do. Wash your hands. Use the sanitizer. Order this through the Instacart website for the shoppers. It took about 2 weeks to get here, but it's nice to have. Um, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.